morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are actually watching this from. I know there's a lot that is going on right now in Nigeria, and your mind may be in a place where you are in one of the divides, and you are right here saying, the Muslims are killing the Christians, or the Christians are killing the Muslims, or we're having a situation of genocide in Nigeria right now. But I want you to understand something, that what we are fighting right now in Nigeria is beyond all the narrative that is being pushed. You see, the devil is disguising himself in different ways. Just the way you see some people, they call themselves alpha male, and you see some other people, they call themselves feminist. It's still the same spirit. It's one and the same spirit that is working through this one and is working through that one. Even though they may have different narrative, they think, oh, this is a lesser, this is better than this, alpha males are better than the feminists or whatever. If you look through them, go into them, you will see that it will always start as something good, but at the end of the day, it will end up into something very tough and very messy, in the sense that we need to know the devil for who he is, and we're supposed to catch the thief in the nation. The enemy is not the Muslim. The enemy is not the Christian. The enemy is someone that we are not paying attention to. And if we don't pay attention to that person, we will continue to hurt ourselves. Because what is actually happening is a spirit, or some spirit, that gave men idea. I guess you know that whether you are Christian, whether you are Muslim, God is interested in your life. God is interested in your soul. Irrespective of where you are, if you come to God, he sees you as his own. So Nigeria these are precarious times. These are very, very precarious times. And we need to understand something about everything that is going on. This is massively cooked from somewhere. If the center of gravity of a thing is removed, the power of that thing is completely taken away. There is a center of gravity of everything that we see right now in Nigeria. Why I strongly believe that this is not about Christian or Muslim, whatever. Why I strongly believe that is because I grew up in the north. I grew up in Jos. So I know a little bit about Christian Muslims. And I kid you not, most of my best friends at the time, even while I was playing basketball back then in Jos, they were Muslims. We sit together, we eat together, we live together, we do lots of things together. We are just cool together. So I heard Pastor Chris say something, I believe that is true. No true Nigerian will want to kill another Nigerian, because even when we had our crisis in Jos, it was brutal. There was a religious crisis that was in Jos. It was a very, very, very brutal crisis. But in all of this, you still see Christians saving the Muslims. You still see Muslims saving the Christians. Till today, I still have Christian friends. I still have Muslims. Wait. This thing is not about religion. There's something that is beyond religion. And what is that thing? I'll tell you now. Let me try and help you. This thing is about the purposes of God in the earth. Nigeria is a central focus in God's end time purpose in the earth. And this is what the enemy is fighting. It doesn't have anything to do with, and who is a Christian? Who is a Muslim? Who is a Nigerian? The devil doesn't care. Once he sees that there is a purpose of God about to be made manifest through a people, he will come and fight. That's why some of you go through the things that you go through and you're thinking is about you. No, it's not about you. Take yourself out of the picture and see what you embody in God that is about to be fleshed out, that the devil has seen and is coming right after that thing. So the Christians are not the problem. The Muslims are not the problem. There is something that we are neglecting, and we are thinking that things will shift. No, nothing is going to shift, because we are not even looking at the problem. What then is this problem? There is a prince that is ruling this country. And if we don't deal with that prince in the spirit realm, we will not be able to achieve anything tangible in the natural realm. And you can see one of the things that is going on right now, unless you are not on social media or you're not listening to some of the mainstream media that are trying to be honest even at this point. If you're not in any of these situations, then you may not know what is happening. But if you dare look into any of these, you will see one and the same thing. Fear is everywhere. What does he try to achieve with fear? Without faith, it's impossible to please God, and without fear, with fear, it is very possible to please the devil. So if the devil wants to come in and achieve a particular thing, the first thing he will do is to incite, is to put fear into you. That is why when you dream and you see maybe you lost something, or maybe something died in the dream, that is not the end goal of the thing. Most times through your dreams, they will fire that fear. Now, the minute you come up with that fear and activate it in your life, you have partnered with the devil. And once that partnership takes place, he comes right in, because he has seen an image of himself that he will use to bring destruction. Everything in the realm of the spirit functions with image. When anything in the spirit realm sees an image of itself in the earth, it will map right into it. That's why you will see when the devil wants to destroy some people, he will give them images like pornographic images. You give them things that will begin to make them journey into things like masturbation and all those kind of struggles and all that. There will be an image. Once the spirit sees an image of itself, it will map itself right into it. If lust wants to come in, same thing. If addiction wants to come in, there must be an image. That's why God created you in his image, so that anytime he sees you, he can map in. Anytime he sees you, he can map in. Anytime he sees you, he can map in. This is very, very important. So the devil knows exactly what he's doing. He's after the purposes of God. He's not after Nigerians. He's not after the Christians. He's not after the Muslims. He's after the purposes of God. And if you don't see the purposes of God, you will miss the whole point of what is happening. Some people are saying, the Americans should come and save Nigerians. Some others are saying, oh no, don't come. And look, don't look to any man to come save you. We look to the hills from whence comes our help. Our help is not coming from America. Our help is not coming from Japan. Our help is not coming from Russia. Our help is not coming from Korea. Our help is not coming from anywhere. Our help, if it is going to come, it has to come from the Lord. But you see, we have been distracted. We have been made to pursue things left and right, and we have ignored the real thing. What is the real thing? The real thing is that there is something we are ignoring, and that is what is coming to bite us in the ass. We need to come back to the original design. We need to come back to the original blueprint. We need to come back to what God wants us to do. And that is one of the reasons why what he told us about the coming year 2026 is very critical. He said it will be the year of restored dominion. I want you to understand that this thing is beyond a church or a mosque. This thing is beyond a pastor or an imam or a cleric. It's beyond any of all this narrative. These are narratives. I know that you may think, oh, you don't understand what is happening. I said to you that I grew up in the city of Jos. I went to Bauchi to school. Yes, these things, are they there? Emphatically, yes. But are they the ones doing it? Emphatically, no. Why? Because there are spirits mapping into them. And so if we're going to ever solve the problem, trust me to tell you, you can't solve it with missiles. You can't solve it with bombs. You can't solve it with, because you kill today, you wipe out the people in this area tomorrow. What will happen the following day? Another set will come up again, because there is an idea. So we don't defeat ideas with bullets. We don't defeat ideas with missiles. We don't defeat ideas. We defeat ideas with stronger ideas. And you see, even as a Christian that you claim to be, I don't like using the word Christian, because if you study the Bible throughout from Genesis to Revelation, you will never hear Jesus using that word Christian. You will never hear Jesus using that word Christian. All you will hear him talk about is the kingdom, the kingdom, the kingdom, the kingdom, the kingdom. Even when you hear the word in the book of Acts, it was not really like a good thing per se. It was something of mockery of some sort. So you see that you are an ambassador for Christ. As an ambassador for Christ, you represent him. This day is a day that has been scheduled in God's calendar. If you are truly a Christian that you claim, then you should know that this day is scheduled for you. This is a schedule for your manifestation, because Isaiah chapter 60 says, "Arise, shine, for your light has come, and what? The glory of the Lord is risen upon you." You have to rise. He said darkness will cover the earth. Not just darkness, gross darkness. What is happening now? Does it look like darkness? Does it even sound like darkness? This is massive darkness all across, not just in Nigeria. Anywhere the purposes of God is about to be made manifest and is strong, the devil will come right into that place and want to fight those people and turn them against themselves to make sure that God does not come in. So what the devil is fighting right now is actually the purposes of God. Do you believe that you are an important part of God's purpose in the earth? Whether you're a Muslim, whether you're a Christian, you're an important part of God's purpose in the earth. God is not going to look at you on the last day and say, "Oh, you're a Christian, come and no." He said, "Well done, good and faithful." He didn't say faithful Christian. He didn't say faithful Muslim. He's a faithful servant. So God is not about all our narratives. So let's keep our narratives one side and look right into what God is saying to us at this point. It is very, very important for you not to be journeying with any of these things that is flying here. I mean, if I will advise you, within this period, minimize your use of social media. It is very important and critical, because fear is already in the atmosphere. Remember, I told you guys in my last video, I said that altars generate atmosphere, because altars are the places where spirit traffic is generated. That's where spirits are trapped, and then they begin to find expression into a place. And how do they find expression? They look for vessels through which they can release some things about themselves. And when they begin to release these things about themselves, you will discover that an atmosphere will be created. And once that atmosphere is created, there's definitely going to be images of those things right in the earth. And then once the spirits, remember, they see an image of themselves, they will map right in. And this is what is happening. Take note. Almost everybody's afraid right now. But I came to tell you, stop the fear. Stop the fear. You don't need to be afraid. Church, this is your opportunity. When darkness increases, even tiny light becomes significant. So as this darkness is increasing right now, your significance is being made manifest. So this is not the time for you to despair. This is the time for you to arise. Is there a solution to all of this? Emphatically, yes. And what is the solution? The church must arise. And how can the church arise? I don't know, maybe I'll leave this here because of time. Maybe I'll do it in the next video to show you how the church needs to arise. These demons or these spirits that have mapped themselves into people. At the end of times, maybe you just forget about the fact that maybe you call them you call them extremists, maybe you call them bandits, or maybe you call them whatever name you call them, and forget about all of that right now. Just think about your brother or your sister. Are there no times where all of a sudden they begin to misbehave and malfunction and begin to do things that will rile you up? And sometimes we have seen brothers fighting and killing each other. Cain killing Abel? It's a spirit that mapped right, because even God told Cain, said something is at the door, it's knocking, it's looking for an image of itself. If you don't rule that thing, you're going to be a victim of that which is at the door. That's exactly what happened. These spirits are looking for gateways. These spirits are looking for any opportunity. So anyone that opens itself. So that is why we need to pray that the gospel of the kingdom, not this gospel that we are preaching right now, not the prosperity that we're preaching right now, not the motivation that we're preaching now. The thing happening in Nigeria right now is a reflection of the poor state of the church. Look, you cannot change anything if you don't take responsibility for that thing in the realm of the spirit. The church in Nigeria is completely dilapidated. Are we aware that we have killed even more people than even what the terrorists have done? Yes, we have. Wrong teachings and doing so many havoc and doing things. And this is part of God's judgment to us. So if we like, let's start here and shout from now till next year. And this and that, nothing will shift. We need to take responsibility for this thing that is happening in the land. I just pray that we will understand all of this and not fear. Fear is a demon. Fear is a devil that you don't need to give space around you at this time. Yes, the crisis is real. I know that. And we are thinking, oh, it is coming right back at us, and these people, they're advancing. Yes, they are advancing because we are not doing anything. And some people have come to this place to tell you that, oh, why are you even praying? Stop praying. It's time to act. Yes, I know there are times to act. But let me tell you something that you foolishly ignore. You always ignore, you that say these things. You don't know God. You think God will just wake up and just begin to go out to fight. Before God will fight, God must make sure that there is judgment. I think I'll leave this here so that I can do this in the next video. I'll leave this here so that I can do it in the next video, telling you what we need to do in Nigeria to shift things, what we need to do in Nigeria to change the course of things. Because if you don't change things in the spirit, nothing will change in the land. Forget about it. If the angel coming with Daniel's answers didn't break through in the spirit, Daniel would pray and do all things on earth and nothing will shift. I mean, absolutely nothing will shift. So there's work that we need to do in the spirit. And then when it maps itself into the earth, you just discover that there is no need to start talking about most of the things that we're talking. I believe that Nigeria is great. I believe that Nigeria will be great. And I believe that the purposes of God in Nigeria will be achieved. Dear brothers and sisters, Christians, Muslims alike, all people that God wants to use in this time, I believe that we are going to be great. God does not see you as an infidel. God sees you as who you are supposed to be. God bless you, and I'll bring the next video and tell you what we need to do at this time to shut all of this and show you some battle strategy and how we need battle intelligence to conquer what is happening in Nigeria. And if we will do these things, trust me to tell you, we'll make significant progress. God bless you. I love you, and see you in the next video. Bye-bye.